reacting to the reactions of congresspersons, as well as hindi na siya nag-react po kay Congressman Sandro at saka kay Governor Matthew Marcos. But kasi sabi niya mga anak yan, and therefore understood that they would come to the defense of their parents. Gayunpaman, she still had a lot to say pagdating dito sa mga sinasabi sa kanya tungkol sa, unhinged and so on, with the implication that she is not exactly, kumbaga, all right up there. Or so to speak, yung mga few bricks short of a load, kumbaga. But the truth is, if you're going to look at who is really slightly off kilter when it psychologically, it might not actually be the vice president, because her reaction is normal anger over the continued repression and oppression, not just of her family, but as well as the negligence. For her, negligent lang ang gobyerno pagdating sa pag-a-address ng mga issue katulad ng kagutuman. Hello trolls, kamusta naman po kayo dyan? Bakit po kayo at natatawa dun sa mga nagsasabing nagugutom ang mga Pilipino? Is this something of a joke for you? Because certainly the congressmen as well as many of the senators and most of this administration has conveniently forgotten na mataas pa rin po ang presyo ng pagkain. And the numbers are exceedingly suspicious and skewed dahil sinasabi nila mababa daw ang inflation pero mataas pa rin ang presyo ng pagkain. At may drama pa ang ating administrasyon pagdating dito sa presyo ng bigas dahil sinasabi nila may available na daw na 29 pesos per kilo ng bigas sa Kadiwa. But Kadiwa, unlike in previous administrations, has now morphed into some kind of a monster. Because normally, ang Kadiwa, ordinarily, bibili yan diretso sa mga magsasaka para sa gayon, mayroong kita ang mga magsasaka, something that the NFA used to or still can do but has not apparently been doing so. Bibili diretso sa magsasaka at makakapagbenta ng mura kahit may konting patong for the administrative costs of the government. Pero ito hindi. Hindi po sila diretso sa magsasaka bumibili. It is quite possible na retailers pa rin po ang binibilhan and government absorbs the loss. They've done it before and I'm sure they are doing this again this time. Kasi 29 pesos, medyo malabo yun. Unless, teka, may problema na naman ang ating internet. Alam ko po, may problema yung internet. Huwag na po kayong magkulit. Yan. There you go. Alright, so ayan na. And therefore, yun nga, the government absorbs the loss, pero sino ba ang mga importers at mga retailers ng bigas at saka ng maraming pagkain, karamihan sa mga imported na agricultural products dito sa Pilipinas, kung hindi mga hefty campaign contributors. So again, hinighlight na naman ni VP Inday ang pagwawalang bahala sa mga problema na hinaharap ng ordinaryong mamamayan, pagkain, tubig, kuryente, internet, and so on, which we have often had a litany of the same things over here. Sinasabi niya, in the meantime, yung mga tunay na concerns ay wala. So, let's go through the highlights ng ating the highlights nung mga sinabi ni VP Inday kanina, many of which we have already posted dito sa sa ating Luminous, no? What she was saying is that there's no problem if they want to allude to her supposed lack of sanity, kumbaga, but and she's willing to take a neuropsychological exam on the condition that the congressman take a drug test. I understand as a follow-up is that yung ibang mga kongresista ay nagsasabi na, sige, mag-drug test kami on the condition na pupunta ka naman dito sa Kongreso. Teka muna, ang dami naman ninyong kondisyon. Akala ko ba you were already casting allusions to her mental stability, ngayon meron pa kayong papuntahin siya sa Kongreso. Bakit nyo ba gustong-gusto pumunta si VP Inday sa inyo? Dahil ba mataas ang ratings ninyo, maraming nanonood sa inyo kapag si VP Inday ang nandyan. Palibasa, kahit yung mga ginagawa ninyo kay PRD, marami na sa mga DDS ay hindi na po nanonood sa inyo, bad na yung ratings, bagsak na yung ratings ninyo, kahit ang sasama na ng mga pinagsasabi mo ninyo sa dating Pangulo. To the point na mayroong mga syunga-syunga dyan na naniniwala na sa inyo. O ano yung mga sinabi? Halimbawa, she started off with casting aspersions on the SOJ. Sabi niya, unang-una, ipagdasal natin ang Pilipinas dahil meron tayong Secretary of Justice na hindi alam ang batas. Totoo yan. Desecration of the dead is not a crime. It was proposed to be a crime but the bill was never passed. It was proposed in the Senate before. Hindi po pumasa. So ano-ano lang ang mga krimen that are very close to that. Number one is libel, blacken the memory of one who is dead. Wala naman sinasabi si VP Inday tungkol doon sa yumaong Marcos Sr. Kung hindi, ang sinasabi niya, pag hindi kayo tumigil, ganito ang gagawin ko. Susunod, disrespect of the dead, which usually means is pagka wake or funerals and so on ang situations. At any rate, there is no disrespect for the dead kung hindi mo pag ginagawa or hindi mo pag ginagawa yung sinasabing paghuhukay at paghagis ng bangkay. She merely said these things. She said, thinking of them or even saying that you're going to do that is not the same as doing that. So, you're going to punish somebody who said something, hindi siya libel And therefore, Clayton, gusto mo ma-mute? Right. So, and therefore, whatever it is that you are trying to allude as a crime to the Vice President, ang totoo niyan is, it is actually the SOJ who may possibly cross over into libel. Bakit? Ano ba ang libel? A malicious imputation of a vice, crime, or defect. They are alluding to the possibility, ni wala silang ma-state na crime at ang kanilang announcement ay titignan daw nila kung may krimen. And so what are they actually saying here? They're alluding that the Vice President could possibly have committed a crime and therefore could also possibly be alluding to a crime, therefore could also possibly be committing libel. Ano ba? Diba? Sabi ni Eric Banda, dapat ang pinag-uusapan na yung demand drug test to all candidates. Well, you cannot, you can demand it. Tama siya si VP, you can demand it, but we can't turn that into a law or a requirement. Yun lang ang maliwanag dito. So, ang sinasabi niya, but in addition to that, she doesn't want to get stuck rin dyan sa drug test and balik-balikan nila. In all of this brouhaha, what she is saying is that they are forgetting their mandate. They are forgetting why they are in office in the first place. Bakit ba kayong lahat kayo, bakit kayo nakaupo? Para mag-asaran? Para magtirahan? Para mang-insulto sa isa't isa? Manira sa isa't isa? In the meantime, presyo ng pagkain, tubig, kuryente, internet, crime. Nasa na? Diba? Anong nangyayari? May joke nga kami na pinost doon sa Facebook page namin In-announce na daw na mababa na daw ang presyo ng gamot dito sa Pilipinas. Si presidente pa daw nag-announce yung bawal na gamot ang dumami na dito sa Pilipinas. So, crime, yun yung problema. Ano bang inaano nila? Meron na bang nag-aasikaso ng krimen dito? Samantalang ang nakikita lang nila nagko-commit ng mga krimen ay yung kanilang mga political enemies. Tulad ng sinabi namin kaninang hapon sa live dito sa TikTok, the only reason they are doing all this is for the perpetuation of their power. At ang unang-unang nagsabi nito ay si dating Pangulong Duterte. All of this, it isn't just the proposal to change the Constitution. Itong paninira ng kanilang mga political enemies, paggamit ng oras ng gobyerno, paggamit ng resources ng gobyerno para yurakan yung kanilang mga political enemies is a way that they are using to perpetuate themselves in power. to make sure na sila at sila lang ang mananalo. Siyempre, sisiraan ninyo yung kabila using government money, using government time. Instead of working for the Filipino people, you are working for your own interest in aid of your re-election or appointment to another post. Kasi hindi naman lahat yan, marami dyan sa Quadcom ay maliwanag na last termer na. And dahil last termer na sila, they're angling for position dito sa sa Marcos administration. Oy, baka magpa-cute pag cute yung lumabas sa amin, baka maaari na rin kaming ma-appoint. You can never can tell, ika nga ni Ate V. So, di ba? Pangalawa, ano pa yung sinabi ni VP Inday? Aside nga from dito, na napapabayaan na ang tunay na mandato, napapabayaan na yung trabaho dito sa gobyerno, walang, in the meantime, who's watching the store? Okay? You're supposed to do their work. So, ang requirement niya sa atin, demand that government officials do their jobs. Demand na magtrabaho sila instead of doing what they're doing. Instead of yung, wasting public time, wasting public money, and what else? Hindi naman kami bulag para hindi natin makita kung ano yung ginagastos ng mga opisyalis na ito beyond their means, beyond their income. Aba, siguro, oras na rin na pag-aralan natin kung nag-a-apply yung forfeiture law dito sa mga magagaling nating mga kongresista at senador na tila walang ibang ginagawa kung hindi manira ng kanilang political opponents. So, ano pa? Tinanong si VP Inday, ano na yung estado ng friendship? Ano ba yan? Friendship over na ba kayo ni Senator Amy? Ang sabi ni VP Inday, well, nag-text daw siya after the last press con pero malamig daw. Cold daw ang response ni Senator Amy sa kanya. Nire-respeto pa rin niya bilang senadora at ang tingin niya ay kaibigan pa rin. Gayunpaman, hindi siya sure kung ano mangyayari bukas. Kamakalawa. Kung ano na ang magiging reaction dahil 2 beses na po siya talaga nagsasalita. So sabi niya na sabi daw ng isang common friend, sabi daw ni Senator Amy, inis daw siya kay VP at saka kay PBBM. So parang ang tingin ko, anong tingin ni Senator Amy dito sa dalawa? Parang 2 batang paslit na nag-aaway sa candy. Ganun. Parang how dismissive, how condescending. Yun bang tingin ni Senator Amy? Wala ba siyang role dito? Wala ba siyang kasalanan? At wala ba siyang pagagawang paraan para ma-bridge na yung problema dito? Ang totoo niyan, VP Inday would have kept quiet. Politically kasi, it would have been better for her to just be quiet, keep working, show the people that she's working. Ang kaso, sinisiraan siya kasi nga, mahirap na, baka tumakbo siya sa 2028, magiging alikabok na yung mga pretenders na mga ito. So, ang sinasabi ni VP Inday is, huwag siyang magagalit sa amin ni PBBM, magalit siya kay Lisa at kay Martin. Uy, dangerous words, but possibly, quite possibly very, very true. Kasi in what she's saying is that ang tunay na may problema dito ay yung mga tsuwariwap dyan, and she was not shy in mentioning kung sino yung mga yan. Of course, nakikita natin yung problema natin kay Speaker Martin Romualdez na wala na pong katunggali sa loob ng Kamara. Wala na pong oposisyon. Lahat po ay mayroon na pong kanya-kanyang kabusugan. Meron na sila kanya-kanyang nakuha dun sa House Speaker. And so, solid na solid. United ang Kongreso. Unfortunately, hindi united para sa kapakanan ng bayan, kundi united sa pagyuyurak sa mga Duterte. Parang wala silang ibang kailangan gawin. Bukod pa doon, meron pang gusto pang i-ethics case si Congressman Wilbert Lee na nagtanong lamang tungkol dito sa PhilHealth, pero sina Congresswoman Garin made sure na naipasa na yung GAA, particularly doon sa provisions on PhilHealth, nang sa gayon hindi na ma-question ang pondo ng PhilHealth. So, syempre, questionin lang dun sa pondo na hinihingi ni VP Inday. Pero, pagdating sa PhilHealth, na alam naman natin may mga anomalya at mukhang minimina pa ng administrasyon for extra funds, hindi nila pinayagan na kilatisin. Finally, sinabi rin ni VP Inday, check ko lang yung mga check ko lang yung mga katanungan. Meron din siyang sinabi, well, of course, yun nga na-mention na natin ay yung mga pa-drug test. VP Sara said, if di kayo tumigil, yung kabilang parlor exhausting. If di kayo tumigil. Correct. The term is if, kung hindi kayo tumigil. Which means it was conditional. Ano ba? Hais Rosales says, pasalamat sila kay PRD pagkaupo niya as president, inuna niyang ilibing sa tama ang ama nila, mga walang utang na loob, manipulator, mga tahimik lang mga Marcoses sa ginagawa ng dalawa. Isa pa yan. So, by negligence, or by tinotolerate din nila yung mga wrongdoing ng mga nakapaligid sa kanila. Pasensya na po, mabilis tayo magsalita because our interview with the SMNI is at 9:20. Pero as I promised, di ba, everyday more or less tayo talaga nagla-live dito. Okay. So, yung ibang katanungan, sabi ni Maki Berry, nasa ng Pangulo? Good point. In all of this, the President prefers that other people do the fighting for him, which isn't the style of the Vice President. Kumbaga, si VP, she will take up her own battles. Ang laki nga ng defense, tignan ninyo. So, of course, we expect the younger generation to try to defend their elders, Okay lang yan. Pero sino yung mga nagsasalita para sa Pangulo? Si SOJ attacks the Vice President saying that she possibly committed the crime. The congressmen are they're trying to heckle the Vice President. But in all of this, bakit tahimik ang presidente? He's letting others do the fighting for him. Why? Is he incapable of rising to the occasion? Bakit hindi niya patawag si VP kung ayaw niya na very public yung ganitong klaseng alitan? Maybe he doesn't want it. He wants to be able to legitimately tell his followers and his people and all of that, sige, go, attack the Vice President. But after all, there's a looming election in 2025. Anong gagawin nila about that? They need to look good. They need to look better than the Dutertes. Kahit binabakbakan na ng binabakbakan dyan sa Kongreso ang ating dating Pangulo, tingnan ninyo, marami pa rin, mataas pa rin ang satisfaction, trust, and approval rating ng ating Vice Presidente. Of course, they're going to continue to try to take that down, including hiring questionable polling firms. Including hiring questionable firms with questionable methodologies, questionable conclusions to their own surveys. Kaloka. Kamaong Bato says congressmen are paid by this government to attack the Duterte family and be benefited by party coalitions, oligarchs, conglomerate businesses, corrupt government officials, and politicians, lastly by drug lords. Totoo yan. Here's something that we noticed with the BBM administration. Mabagal sila gumawa ng polisiya at wala silang polisiya to control yung gutom o yung greed ng mga kaibigan nilang mga, how do you call them? Oligarko o yung mga mayayaman na gusto pa rin lalong yumaman pa. Higupin lang nila lahat ng pera ng Pilipinas and leaving very little for the rest of us. Sabi ni Selena Kyle, did you think that you could live so large and leave so little for the rest of us? Oh well. But that is what they're doing. Wala man ng attempt. Tignan ninyo, mayroong komisyon dito sa Pilipinas. Competitiveness, to ensure the competitiveness of business. May naririnig po ba kayo? Pero nakikita natin, ang daming monopolyo, ang daming virtual monopolies. Tignan ninyo yung ginagawa ng mga traders that are raking in the box while at the expense of the consumers and of the farmers. This is in agriculture. Samantalang ang gobyerno, puro pag-gimmick lang ang kaya nilang gawin para i-address ang problema imbis na ayusin yung supply and logistics system. The Marcos administration is not interested in fair play. They're not interested in ensuring that everybody has the opportunity to make a buck. They're not interested in making sure na maiangat nila ang estado ng mga mahihirap dito sa Pilipinas. Okay lang sa kanila na may naghihirap. Okay lang sa kanila na ignorante ang karamihan ng mga mamamayan o mababa ang kalidad ng edukasyon dito sa Pilipinas. Bakit? Kasi marami silang maluloko. Kayang-kaya nila na magpa-inquiry ng magpa-inquiry, magpanggap-panggap sila ng huwes, hudikatura, magpanggap-panggap silang napakatalino nila, samantalang those of us who have had an education are well aware na nagpanggap lang talaga ang kaya nila dyan. O kunwari, marunong mag-direct examination, kunwari, nagka-cross-examination, feeling nila nandun sila sa TV show, tapos may konting yabang, may swagger pa, may mga kung anik-anik pang sinasabi. And even worse, they are so yabang. Ang laki ng ulo nila, hindi nila nakikita na sila mismo. Were they not covered by parliamentary immunity, they could be charged with things like sexual harassment, violation of the Safe Spaces Act, libel, plus civil cases for oppressive behavior, damage. Nakakaloka. Kaliwat kanan kung cite in contempt. Hindi sila marunong ng proseso, parati nilang sinasabi, we will cite you in contempt. Sir, kailangan bago citing in contempt, show cause muna. Show cause why you should not be cited in contempt kasi yun po ang proseso. Minsan, kailangan pa kayong paalalahanan ng inyong staff. This should be second nature to you kung kayo po ay tuloy-tuloy sa paggagamit ng inyong pwesto to conduct inquiries. Ang totoo niyan, Mr. Congressman and Madam Senator and Madam Senator, hindi po kayo inquiry, inquisition na po kayo. Katulad ng Spanish Inquisition during the last century or last 2 centuries ago. Sorry naman po. Wala tayong napapakinabangan dito sa mga to, hindi nila pinapakita sa atin na mayroon silang puso para sa serbisyo. Sabihin na natin walang serbisyo, pero kahit man lang ba puso para sa serbisyo, mabigay nila sa atin, hindi rin. Nada, zero, kaloka.
Performance will start momentarily.